DLF is the next company that we are focused on, and we have Mr. Ashok Kumar Tyagi, Managing Director at DLF, joining in. I mean, FY24, of course, was fantastic. The pre-sales guidance was surpassed, big time. And now for FY25, the guidance is, of course, 17,000 crores. Mr. Tyagi, good morning, sir. Thanks very much for your time. As always, Prashant this side. Could you give us a sort of on-the-ground assessment right now, as we speak to you right now? Are things as good? I mean, because things have been pretty good for a while. How is demand holding up? Sort of a project uptake? Is it going as fast as it has over the last 12 months or so? What about pricing? Just an overall sense before we go into details.
Okay. So I mean, frankly, Prashant, now it's been almost, I think, in excess of 2.5 years now. And I think the demand's been holding up. In fact, it's strengthening almost quarter on quarter, I'd say. We did the second phase of Privana launch in end April, early May, and I think that also sold out in a period of 3 to 4 days. So the demand's holding up, the pricing trends are holding up, our execution machinery is in full shape. And I think not only the residential, even the commercial side of the equation, which is both the office leasing and the retail leasing, are both strengthening almost, on a quarter-by-quarter basis. So overall, this is relatively, I think, in the midst of a virtuous cycle.
Hey, Mr. Tyagi, good morning. I mean, this has come after a long dry spell that the industry had, right? So yes. I think it's your time to shine now. But tell us this Lux 5, how much is it likely to contribute going forward? I mean, Camellias 2. I just want to understand, what is it's of course premium property, right? The pricing is expected to be 50 crores upwards. So what is the kind of contribution that you expect here? And how much will it add to your, revenue target over the next 1 to 2 years?
Okay, so good morning, Sonia. I'd like to clarify that Lux 5, Camellias 2, these are all broker-assigned working titles. We haven't titled the product yet. We haven't, it'll be properly brought to the market post RERA and everything. So I think it's still possibly a quarter away. Having said that, yes, you are right that we are proposing and planning to launch another super luxury product on the Golf Course Road now that Camellias is almost sold out completely. I mean, I wouldn't hazard a guess on the ticket size, but in our pipeline sheet in the analyst presentation, we have right now ascribed a potential launch value of 20,000 crores to this project, which in all fairness could be exceeded given how the pricing trends for that segment have been. In the first year, given that we'll be launching only towards maybe, August, September, we have right now been conservative, and of the 17,000 pipeline, we have only ascribed about 3,500 crores for Lux 5. And the balance 13,000 crores plus is actually being based on all other launches, excluding Lux 5.
So your launch pipeline is for FY25 is about 11.6 million square feet, right? Is that correct?
Yes, yes, it is, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, and how much of that will be in the first half of the year? What is the kind of execution that you're looking at in H1?
So, Sonia, Q1, of course, is not going to see any significant launches, except Privana Phase 2, which has already happened in April end, which was about 6,000 crores. I think 5,700 crores. I think in Q2, we should have the Goa launch, hopefully, if all goes well, which is a super luxury villa launch in Goa. And I think maybe towards the last phase of Q2 or early Q3 is when you should see Lux 5. Mumbai should happen again late Q3 stroke early Q4. We are targeting late Q3 as of now. And the next phase of Privana should hopefully happen by Q4. In addition to that, there will be smaller launches of commercials and some launches in Tri-City Chandigarh, which will keep on happening through the year.
All right. Hi, good morning, Mr. Tyagi. Always good speaking to you. I can feel the confidence in your voice. I think a sweet spot for real estate companies, and you're fitting in perfectly well. What's the probability you go ahead and give the street a pleasant surprise? Last year, you had earlier guided for, I think, around 13,000 crores of pre-sales. You ended up with a 10% beat. This time, we're talking about 17,000 crores. Are you likely to overshoot that as well? That's point number one. Point number two is on the rental income. You've done around 4,300 crores. What's the outlook for this year?
Okay. So, Nigel, on the sales guidance, as I mentioned just now to Sonia also, of the 17,000 crores, I think we have been fairly conservative on our guidance towards Lux 5 because that will be a super luxury project. And I think there's a fair chance that we may beat that guidance. By how much, I guess we'll have a more accurate ear to the ground by December, because most other projects that we are launching, we are pretty much banking on them selling out completely during the year, So I think hopefully by October, November, we'll know broadly whether the 17,000 is being exceeded, and if so, what's a reasonable degree of exceeding it by. On the offices piece, as you mentioned, while our total rental income last year was about 4,300 odd crores, our exit run rate as of March 24 is now running at about 48 to 4,900 crores for the fiscal 24-25. And we expect that by March 25, our exit run rate should be almost touching 6,000, because about 3 odd million square feet of our developments should be completing in Chennai and getting into rent commencement mode this year. And the downtown in Gurgaon, which last year only had a few months of rentals, this year will be a full year rental. So we are expecting about a run rate of about 5,000 crores, 4,900 crores exceeding March 24, and going to about 59 to 6,000 crores by March 25.
Interesting. And just to sort of, you said that in the 17,000 pre-sales guidance, this luxury project is you're accounting only 3,000 crores, right? Out of the 20.
I think 3,500 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Okay, and that number could be bigger.
Yeah.
I was speaking recently with somebody in Delhi, and I was talking about the club facilities, etc. in Camellia, saying they're absolutely world class. And do you offer those memberships to outside sort of residents as well?
No, we don't, but we are more than happy to have a visiting media delegation go through it.
No, not for me. I mean, this gentleman I was talking to was saying that there is. So it is for the residents,
Prashant,
right?
Prashant, all of these club facilities are for the residents of that specific condo, in that sense. So obviously, teams keep on doing events, etc., where obviously outsiders get invited. But on a repetitive basis, the usage is restricted to that's been the case with all of our clubs, Aralias, Magnolias, now Camellias, and hopefully going forward as well. But Agli when you come to Delhi, I think, you must let me know pehle, and we'll take you through the club.
Prashant, it's an upgrade coming there, Prashant. Going to keep an eye on this.
Is this a big part of the entire package, Mr. Tyagi? When you launch these super luxury projects at these, these price points, which arguably there is demand for, but it just seems, obviously really top end, right? So is this a large part of the offering in terms of how you're able to market it?
So in all fairness, yes, I think clearly the club and all the facilities that come with it are clearly, I think a major USP of developments like this, and on the golf course road, be it Aralias, Magnolias and Camellias across a span of about 2 decades. I mean, each of those projects, when they were launched, were definitely, way beyond what the market was offering, even in a comparable price segment at that time. And we hopefully, in fact, if you may or may not recall, Prashant, there was a time around 2018-19 when the Camellia sales had stalled.
Yes.
And we remember we'd spoken, and we used to talk about how many units
we had spoken at length, We had spoken at length. There was a quarter, I still recall, a horror quarter where about 25 Camellias cancelled. I think 2018 came past. But then, in all fairness, I think A, the market sentiment, and B, once the club commissioned a couple of sample apartments in the Camellias commission, and then the sales that have begun subsequent to that, I think have been extremely strong sales, in that sense. And now I think we are left with, I think, less than 15 apartments.
Okay, Mr. Tyagi, I have to ask you about the Mumbai market, right? Because anyone and everyone who is someone is entering the Mumbai market, and DLF is not too far behind. I mean, you've invested 400 crores for that 51% stake in that SPV in an Andheri project. But tell us a little bit about what the overall plans are, not just for Mumbai, for Goa as well. What kind of potential do you see here? Okay. What could the growth look like for you?
So first I'll tell you Mumbai. Mumbai obviously is the country's biggest real estate market. I don't think that there's any doubt on that. We ourselves did not have, I mean, we had one great property, which we, as you know, we sold to Lodha about 10 years back. And I think they've done a great job of developing that property. We had another property, another joint venture that we had, which unfortunately ran into rough weather and is currently involved in litigation. So we were sort of, we were very gingerly about re-entering Mumbai. This is a project which hopefully over time can have about a 5 million square feet development potential in Andheri West. Right now, I think we have done our partners have done the slum rehab, etc., to get the first million odd square feet of saleable area cleared. I think that's what we propose to launch hopefully by Q3 or early Q4 this year. So first of all, let's see how this piece pans out. How is the sales engine there? How is the sales velocity there? What are the price points we can get? And then, hopefully if this gives us confidence, we can look around to a couple of more projects in Mumbai. But right now, we are only focused on this one in Mumbai. And in Goa, in contrast, Sonia, we had these three land parcels for, I think, for the last 15 years.
Okay, I think there's some issue with the audio and the video. Sorry, Mr. Tyagi, will come back to you. But we got that. We got your, expectations, at least from the Mumbai market, and you're hopeful of surpassing your full year sales guidance as well.